and I'm Coach Kemi, CEO and founder of How to Think Global Consulting Empire. And I'd like to share some things with you. I'm in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, in West Africa, and I have not been here for about 14 years. I grew up here. I had my nursery here. I had my primary school here, a parts of it. I had my secondary school here, all of it. I had my university education here, all of it. I graduated in 1988 as a BSc honors with microbiology and parasitology. And I want you to remember these details, because as I share with you what I'm about to share with you, you will understand why I have gone into just a little bit of detail, because I'm still to share a lot more with you. Now, let me share with you what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about just what you have in front of you on the screen right now. The one act necessary to transform the mind of a nation. The one act necessary to transform the mind of a nation. And I launched my business, How to Think Global Consulting Empire, in Lagos, Nigeria on the 1st of December. And I had a grand total of 13 souls, 13 minds, 13 thinkers who want their thinking to be transformed. So I'm going to go into the meaning of that word transform. Okay? Now, I want you to think of transformation as different from change. Now, the dictionary meaning of the word change is to exchange something that is similar to what you're exchanging it for. So, for example, you exchange a pencil, a red pencil, for a blue pencil. You exchange a writing, a big fat red pencil for a small thin yellow pencil. They are all pencils. They will still write. If you exchange a pen for a pencil, they will still write. Do the same thing, both instruments. However, transformation is a far cry from change. Transformation in the dictionary, and I'll paraphrase the meaning, is to exchange something for another so that that thing is different, in the way it works and in the way it looks, and it is improved. There must be an improvement. Now, in Nigeria, for there to be an improvement, we must do certain things. And before I go into those certain things, not just in Nigeria, in absolutely any nation, and I will tell you why. Now, let me tell you a bit more about the word transformation. Transformation is what happens to the butterfly, what happens to the frog after they are both born. Okay? So let's talk about the butterfly, because that's my favorite example, and it really describes the word transform. Now, before I tell you what the one act is, transformation, when we look at the butterfly, is also metamorphosis. To metamorphosize, you've got to change, and your change becomes a transformation because you are improved. So let's look at the monarch butterfly, the metamorphosis or the transformation of the monarch butterfly. The monarch butterfly is born as an egg. That egg scientifically has been proven that it will last where it is hatched, usually on a leaf, for 3 to 5 days. So it could be hatched anytime between 3 and 5 days. When it hatches, it is a caterpillar or a larva, if you want to use the scientific name. It is a larva, and that larva, all that larva does is eat. That's why it is hatched perched on a leaf because it eats the leaf and all the other green leaves around it so that it can grow. So that caterpillar has transformed from being stationary like the egg to becoming a caterpillar. So I want you to go along with me and imagine that the egg is a thought. Okay? So go along with me and keep imagining that the egg is a thought and the thought hatches into another thought, which is now called a caterpillar thought. So the caterpillar thought eats and eats, and as it grows, because it's getting bigger, because it's eating, it sheds its outer skin because that skin is too small for it, and it becomes, has another new skin underneath, but it keeps eating. So for between 10 to 14 days, the caterpillar or the larva or the caterpillar thought remains that way and keeps changing skin because it's changing skin because it's getting bigger. When you are getting bigger, that means you're getting stronger, you are getting better. So your thought is getting bigger, it's getting stronger, it's getting better. All right, so between 10 and 14 days, it lasts that way until it changes into a pupa. Now the pupa is it's a case, and the pupa is a case. So your caterpillar thought becomes a pupa thought, and so it has changed, it has improved, because inside that case, the butterfly is forming. Now I want you to look at your pupa thought. Your pupa thought is forming the butterfly inside its case. So you are about to become something else, but you are now improved. When you are a caterpillar, you are not a pupa. So while your caterpillar thought is a caterpillar thought, that caterpillar thought is not a pupa thought until it moves on to become a pupa thought. But for it to become a pupa thought, it has to keep eating, keep growing, keep changing skin. That is what needs to happen to the caterpillar thought. And for the pupa thought to become a butterfly, it has to keep changing inside and forming. And the entire caterpillar forms into a butterfly inside the pupa. The pupa is in that state for 7 to 10 days. So your pupa thought is in that state while it's forming. It's not just stationary. It's not just being the same, eating the same, doing the same. The caterpillar thought was eating enough to sustain it at the pupa thought level, which will help it to become a butterfly thought. Now, after between 7 and 10 days, the pupa thought becomes a butterfly, the butterfly thought. Now, let me tell you what is amazing about the butterfly thought. The butterfly thought can move from point A to point B. It can pollinate flowers. It can lay more eggs. It can eat and fly. The egg could not move. The egg was stationary. It stayed exactly where it was and did what it had to do because that's all it had. All the nutrients in it was only enough to become a caterpillar thought. I want you to listen to me closely, please. So from an egg thought to a caterpillar thought to a pupa thought to a butterfly thought, what the butterfly can do, the egg could not do. The caterpillar could not do. The pupa could not do. But however, for that egg to become a butterfly, it had to move on. It had to grow. It had to do what it needed to do. There was no parent to the caterpillar saying, hey, you've got to eat now, so that you can grow. There was no mentor, no coach. Oh, you see, the Bible, if you read the Bible, it says you should look at the ants. The ants don't have a leader. They don't have anyone, but they know when to keep food for summer. There is the worker ants, the royal ants, or whatever they are called. But everybody is doing what they need to do, or guess what? They'll die. They will die. They will die. And many of us, once your internal eyes have stopped seeing, your external eyes cannot see. You think you are seeing with your external eyes, the ones on your head, your eye sockets, but the the eye of your mind, which are your thoughts, once they cannot see, once all they are seeing is the same thing, you cannot develop. You will not develop. It's not rocket science. And I'll keep sharing with you some of my stories. So, I've been incensed by what I have seen in my country of Nigeria. I have been incensed, I have been upset, I have not been happy. So let me carry on. Now let me tell you why I've been incensed, why I have been unhappy, why it should not be this way. Let me tell you why I am upset and incensed about the state in which I have met my country. Now, I've been hearing stories. I've been here before the 14 years, I've been back, I think, once or twice. And let me tell you a bit more about me. I was one of those wives, because I'm now divorced, married to my pastor, who believed that she should just stay home while he carried on and made life happen. I was one of those wives who believed that, let him go ahead and do ministry and I'll stay at home and I'll take care of the children, And I did. I took care of the children. Okay, so right now, bear with me because I'm looking for how I'm going to reduce this and stop. Okay, I've seen it. So I carried on and I took care of the children. I wasn't thinking. I promise you, I wasn't thinking. I had the capacity and the ability, like you listening to this video right now, to take responsibility for my life, but I did not. Mind you, I was living in London, UK. So listen to me. It's not the country in which you live. It has nothing to do with the country in which you live. It has everything to do with whether you take responsibility or not. I was married in 1990. I was born in 1964. So that made me, so at 84, I was 20. 1990, I was 26 years old. Okay? So at 26, my thinking was still in the gutter. And let me tell you, and I was a graduate. So please, it has nothing to do with whether you have a qualification or not. My thinking was in the gutter and I did not know. When I was in my 40s, that was when I decided I wanted to know. And that was when things changed. Not what I said. When I decided I wanted to know. When I decided I wanted to know how to think. When I decided I'd had enough. When nobody preached, I was a Christian, for crying out loud. I went to church, I did the fasting for 28 days, fasting for 7 days, praying for 3 days and nights. I did the whole shebang. I was a frustrated woman because I was poor. I could not. Look, let me tell you, there was a point in time living in London. For those of you who think that living in London is everything, living in London, I could not buy sanitary towels, tampons for my own monthly cycle. I did not have the money, and I had 2 children, and I had a husband. We were still together. Upbringing is critical. Oh gosh, I agree. But I will let you know why upbringing is not everything. Because peradventure, your parents don't bring you up well. Because we have this saying, oh, our parents did all they knew how to do. It's not everything. It is big, but it's not everything. Your ability to use your thinking capacity is everything. And you know what? What is priority for me is that God created everyone with the capacity to think. Now, when you're a baby, you don't know many things. If we don't tell you to wipe your butt, you probably just keep pooing on yourself. You are taught. But there's a point in time in your life. I have an almost 5-year-old grandson. He knows right from wrong. He knows when we want him to do something and he doesn't want to do it, he talks. I have a 7-month-old granddaughter. This is the 3rd of December 2012 that I'm recording this video. She just turned 7 months about a week ago. She still fights for what she wants. We did not teach her that. So please don't tell me that even a baby does not know what he or she is doing. So when we tell you mothers, we say, stop spoiling your kids. When your kids say, they struggle, they argue, no, they're not eating that, no, they don't want this, and they're still babies, they cannot put 3 words together. They were not born dumb. They were not born stupid. None of them were created stupid. None. I can't answer for those people who are born autistic, for those people who are born blind, for those people who are born without arms, without legs. But I will give you an example of a man, Nick Vujicic, who was born without arms and without legs. And today, he is a top speaker around the world. He surfs without arms and legs. He has been at a plane tricking the people thinking that he was going to fly without arms and legs. He swims without arms and legs. He stands on a table without arms and legs. He has a mouth, he has a voice. I know of an 84-year-old woman who went to art school at 84. Don't tell me old age is your excuse. Don't tell me disability of one kind or another is your excuse. In fact, I don't call it disability. I call it otherwise able. You are otherwise able. They have noticed that autistic people are very, very intelligent. That intelligence is part of your thinking capacity. Please, there are no excuses. Excuses are for losers. And I tell you, I had my own excuses. And as I have notes, and as I carry on, I'll share a lot more of my life with you. Because now I am where I am, and I am teaching people how to think. The best step is to take responsibility. Take responsibility for your life. Because inside of you, when you hear hope, something jumps inside of you. It was jumping inside of me. But I knew I had to take a step I had never taken before. I knew I had to talk to people I had never talked to before. I knew I had to go places I'd never gone before. I knew I had to spend money I'd never spent before. I knew I had to do things I'd never done before. It was so scary. But I realized every time I stepped back and I didn't do it, I didn't talk it, I didn't go there, I kept losing. I never moved forward. I never changed until I told myself the truth. Kemi, you have issues. Kemi, if you do not go forward, you will remain where you are. I do not understand the kind of thinking today that I had then, where I thought God will come and move things for me. Oh, let me pray more and let me work more in church, and my responsibilities will be taken care of. Even God says to us in the Bible that He will bless the work of your hands. What work are you doing? In my country, people are holding on to their bags tight so that somebody that refuses to take responsibility for his own life will not steal it from you, so that somebody will not ask for money from you that he has not worked for. I got to the airport in my country and I was being asked for money to go through immigration or whatever it's called. And I said point blank, no, you are being paid for sitting in that chair. I didn't say this to him. Earn your wages, and if you want more, go and do a decent day's work. Go and be responsible and do your work. So I'm really passionate about this because I have been in the down and out when I did not take responsibility. I've just told you I'm a grandmother of 2. Listen up. My kids were in school, secondary school. After I separated from my husband, I could not give them enough money to go to. No, not enough. I could not give them money to go to school. Pocket money. I I hid under my duvet. I went into a state of depression. My hair, I lost my hair, which is now growing. Oh dear. I lost my hair for about 20 years. It would just be falling off in patches in my head. For years, I did not know I was in a depressive state, in a stress state. They say the disease of the age is stress. And some of us, especially women, we carry it about like it's a badge. Oh, I'm stressed. Oh, you don't know what it's like. What is it like? Let me tell you now that you are born for greatness. You are amazing. You are born as a solution to problems. And until you solve yours, you can never solve anybody else's. Until you stop giving excuses for your attitude, your behavior, your just your nonsense, you will never be able to help anyone else. Never. Wake up. People are walking about and they are asleep. They are asleep. And when you see someone in a 4x4, a Range Rover, or a Caucasian, you begin to shake. Someone comes in from UK or US, you begin to quake. You begin to behave as if you are no longer human, as if you are not equal to them. And that's a choice you have made. A choice you have made. Oh, you want to tell me you have not heard stories, testimonials of men and women, children, young boys, girls, doing amazingness. Example of two I will share with you while we go on. Riri Okoye, if you don't know her, she leads the team called Raising Confident Girls. Find it on Facebook. Connect with Riri Okoye. And she had just gone out into the slums and gone to look after some girls, and she was in tears, and she wrote a post on Facebook this morning, the 3rd of December, and people were commenting, and I'm going to use some of their comments, and I put a comment in there today. She only wrote it today. And she put a few pictures of the girls and the slum in which they are living. I know Chinyere Anokuru, who is looking after widows and women, and she has bought sewing machines and taught them how to sew so that they can make a living. I know Pastor Funke Felix Adejumo, who does something in that arena for women and orphans. And she says, if your husband says, look, I need 100,000 naira there, or to tide me over in my business, or 2 million to tide me over in my business for the next 2 weeks, do you have it? Don't you? She says, don't say, where do you want me to get it from? You want to kill me? Hey, 2 million. Hey. She said, no, that's nonsense. Tell him I'm coming. When do you need it? Give me a few days. That's how to think. And then you go into creation mode. Because until you answer that way, you will never make it. You will never make that amount of money until you answer that way. You will never look for what you are not looking for. Let me say that again. You will never look for what you are not looking for. I was evicted from my house in London because I could not pay my rent. Listen. I was a grandmother. How old was I? I think I was 49 or was I 50? I don't quite remember. Grandmother, 5-week-old grandson. How can I pay it today? How did I fly? Because my mind is no longer filled with stinking thinking. Stinking excuses. You know, an excuse is a thought. Let me carry on. So let me introduce myself again. I'm Coach Kemi, and I teach you how to think for high performance. Okay? Nothing less. Now, I've written a few of the words in my words, some of the responses that were given to Riri's post. Somebody wrote, The way to get over all this slum and all this nonsense that's happening in our country of Nigeria is if we did the right thing at the right time for the right reasons, things will be much better. Yes, she is too right, and I agree with everything that was written. However, we want to fly before we walk. We want to walk before we crawl, and some kids don't crawl, they just get up and walk. My granddaughter, who is 7 months, has been standing since the age of 3 months. I said standing. Not by herself, but she refuses to do anything but stand. She's been standing. Since I've been here just over a week now, I've been told she now stands without anything. She's been crawling for maybe 3 weeks. That's all. Now she's standing. Some kids want what they want. Don't stop them. Don't slow them down. Don't tell them, well, you have to do this way before you do this way. Who told you? Are you them? Did you make them? Do you know who they are? Next time, sit back, watch and listen and learn from them. I learn a lot from my children and now from my grandchildren. But the only way we can do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons so that things will be much better is if we are thinking right. You cannot do right and do things at the right time and do things for the right reasons. A reason is a thought. Until we have got our thinking right, we cannot get anything right. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Do what you like. I am on a mission. I'm not here to be liked, loved. I tell you, if you want to understand, you will do the work. I'm not here to make you do anything. It's your thinking, your mind, your thoughts. I cannot force you, and neither can anyone else force you. It's up to you people. We are not slaves. We are not slaves. I don't care what your environment is. I was in an environment where they give you houses. I'm talking about UK. And I was still poor and depressed. And I didn't even know. I was in debt. I was in poverty. And I'm still coming out of it. I'm not fully out. So don't think I'm all that and a bag of chips. No, I am doing what I'm telling you to do. I am doing it. I am doing it every day. Even in Nigeria as I'm here. Don't think I came loaded with 10 rucksacks of pounds. Am I crazy? I need to earn money everywhere I am. This is not a short video, by the way. So if you do not have the time for it, I guess I should have said that at the beginning. I'm saying it at 27 minutes. If you don't have the time, leave it go. But you need to listen to every part. So if you've jumped to this point, if you've skipped, go back to the beginning. So that's what she said, and I agree, but it all starts with a thought. The next thing is, someone wrote, I think the same person said, if leaders behave like leaders, let me tell you, leaders, CEOs, people that are at the top, they work with other people like them. How would you like to spend time with a baby? How would you like to spend time with a 5-year-old? You are 27, that child is 5, and you say you're doing things together? Crazy, isn't it? They don't get it, they don't quite understand, they don't have the strength to do it well. Things need to be developed. If leaders behave like leaders, how do leaders behave? They are awesome thinkers. They don't pass the buck. They don't give excuses. Otherwise, they are not leaders. Parents are leaders. There are some parents that should be put in jail, in my opinion. Both here, the UK, the US, and on and on and on. Because they do not lead their children right. And they will not apologize when they find out that, oh my goodness, I have been wrong for 10 years. Look, let me tell you a story. After my husband left, I silently and secretly said to myself, no man will ever hurt me like this again. What is the man's name? He did not beat me and rape me or anything. No. But psychologically and mentally and emotionally, I was abused. But guess what? I allowed it. You see, if somebody says you're a fool, you decide whether you're going to accept whether you're a fool or not. The fact that somebody has said so does not make you a fool. You decide who you are. If somebody slaps you, you make a choice. Am I slapping him back? and getting into a kerfuffle and fighting and getting all rough? Or am I going to walk away and quietly say thank you and keep going? Because I know I'm not a fool. Look, back in the UK, there was somebody parked wrongly. A church finished, and I'm friends with this particular pastor, and he was just so amazing, humble man. He came down, and the other church people had blocked them here. He said, "Look, that's how we park here," and they got into a scuffle, an argument. And this pastor, before you knew it, this one that's my friend, they were fighting on the ground in front of his congregation. People were out ready to go home. And I can immediately hear some of you say, "Oh," and he said, "Pastor, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet." And he said, "Pastor, so he told you he's God?" You see, the only person that does not mess up is God. The rest of us, we mess up. And he said, "Pastor, how could he start fighting?" Excuse me, how did I know about it? I don't go to his church. It was on Facebook. He made a public apology. Public apology. Even those of us that went in his church now found out that he had a scuffle, he had fought, they were on the ground, boxing, punching, or whatever it was they did. He said that was disrespectful of me, that was not honorable. He apologized publicly. Facebook is a public place. It has how many billions, or is it millions? There's this, I think it's 2 billion places. And we are 7.5 billion in the world. The people that knew him and didn't know him, that followed him and didn't follow him, everybody knew. And the comments were many, hundreds. Wow, you came out and you said this, you said this, you came out and you said this, you came out and you said this. Wow, you're a man and a half. You came, and in Nigeria, we are just full of pride. No, nobody should have said it. How can I say sorry to my children? I make it a practice to apologize to my children. I practice it because I am not God. He doesn't make mistakes, God. So he doesn't have to say sorry to you. We do. So if you're a parent listening to this, I tell you, 10 years I will say to you, I promise myself nobody will ever treat me. If I see it coming, I'm going to stop it. Anytime I saw my children get rude to me or disrespectful or I attack them, I'm telling you, I could beat them raw. Stop it, get out of my house. You will not. I was crazy. Until one day, a couple of days after my daughter got married, this just happened last year in September. Few days, because she married in 2016. I just got understanding. Oh my God, look at what I have been doing to these children. I'm telling you, it was the grace of God. There was nothing else. I sat down thinking, though. I was thinking, why is my son behaving like this? My daughter has just left. She has been disrespectful all these years. Why? And I heard clearly. I said there must be something wrong. It's not them, it's me. What? You see, that's the way to think. It's not them. It's not those people. It's not the government. It's not your parents. It's not the state of the nation. It's not the weather. It's not the sun. It's not the moon. It's not the law. It's not the poverty. It's not the monotony. It's not what else do you want to call it? It's you. Look, you see, if all those things were in control, then God will not have given you a brain. When you are born, all these things are going to control you. So, that's it. So, you're all done. Okay, yeah, I just make you remove your brain or not create you with one, and that's it. I told you a 7-month-old child before she was 7 months fights for what she wants. You think babies are foolish? You think their brain is not working? It is developing, but you think, oh, come on. When I got that, I called my children into a meeting. I phoned one, I phoned the other, and I said, please, I'm sorry. I need to speak with you. And I told them if I made a video about it, if you want to know, get that video, send me an email to coachkemi100@gmail.com. coachkemi100@gmail.com. And I just say, I would like the video where you said you apologized, the story you spoke, you wrote, you recorded about apologizing to your kids and how your life changed. Just tell me about it. Just describe it and I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link. My life has changed since then. There was another time my son did something with one of his female friends. I was really upset. He didn't sleep with her, but I was really upset. Why is she doing this? And I blew her away. She did not know me like that. She ran out of the house. About how many months? Over a year later, I apologized to her this year. Nobody called me. I said that was bad behavior. I called her, little girl, 20. My son is 23. Called her. I said, I am so sorry. Oh, it's okay. I said, no, listen, let me explain. And I want you to please accept my apology. I am so sorry. I'm sorry I spoke to you like that. I'm sorry I chased you out of my house. It was pride. I could still say the same thing without treating people like dogs and goats. You don't talk to people the way I talked to my kids. For 10 years, it was 10 years after their father had gone that I said, oh my God, look at the life I've been living. But you see, that was a choice I made. You can do it in 1 year, you can do it in 1 month, you can do it in 1 day. It depends on what you do. It depends on what you want. It depends on how quickly you want to get your solutions. It's not written anywhere, oh, it's going to take a long time. No, it's not. It's up to you. That's how powerful you are. But you know, when I go about doing what I do, people don't believe me. They don't believe me. They think, no, it's not true. Yeah, but that's what I did as well for years. Oh, it's not true. I cannot just take responsibility. I need help. Somebody needs to come around and support me. Somebody needs to... I just went on and on. I was just noisy. You know, there was something else I used to do. I used to believe that it's because other people had the money that they could do what they were doing. Seriously, I believed it. Since I didn't have the money, that meant I couldn't do it. But that was erroneous thinking. That was stinking thinking. Who told you that, Kemi? Well, that was what I chose to believe. It depends on what you choose to believe, people. Oh, it's a choice what you believe. We have been given such incredible power. It's a choice what you believe. And I believed it for a long time. And the thoughts will come up, oh, it's because they have money. I can't ever get that. Oh, it's because they have... Your thinking is so powerful, it can get you anything you want. Yes, literally. You want to know more? Send me an email. coachkemi100@gmail.com. There was another comment. How do we explain the level of corruption in this country? I will explain it. The way we think. The way our leaders think. But you know, the way your leaders think has nothing to do with the way you think. And there are many people in my country today, from which I'm recording this, that think differently from the way our leaders think. And that is why they are not corrupt themselves, they are not messy. But you want to be watchful that you do not become like your environment. And that is possible. That you do not become like your environment. All you have to do is to sustain great, purposeful, powerful thinking, not stinking thinking. And if you want to, you can. Because the day you tell me it is not possible is the day you are saying something else is controlling you. That's what you are saying. The day you tell me, Kemi, this is not possible, is the day you are saying this life, this world, this society, this country, these people are controlling me. Someone said there is a blatant disregard for humanity. Yes, but nobody can disregard me. I have decided that. Because I have the authority, I know how, but by virtue of simply being human, I'm sick of it, man. You can't put me in jail. Please, go ahead. And you still can't take away my thinking. You can't. That's why the people in the army, soldiers, the Navy SEALs in the United States, the army here, they think differently. They are taught differently, yet they are in our society. They are more disciplined than civilians. So if I were you, I'll scour online, I'll go on YouTube, and go and learn what they learn. Because that discipline is off the charts, it's off the chains. There was another sentence that people take actions with no consequences. Leadership thinking is disciplined thinking. Leadership thinking is optimum thinking. Leadership thinking is loving thinking. Because you know, as a leader, you need to lead these people. The way you think is different and is good for society. Are leaders. And you're a leader, and the first person you lead is yourself. The first person you lead is yourself. And your leadership thinking is paramount to where you lead yourself to where you end up. If you work within a corporation and organization, your thinking capacity, how you think, your thinking style, it affects the bottom line of that company. Now, how much more a nation? How much more a nation? That's why, I go into corporations, I go into organizations, and I say, let's check out how you think. How are you thinking? Because the results your organization is getting, the results they're getting is based on how you think. How are you thinking? Someone else wrote, everywhere in the world there is poverty. Exactly. I've shared with you my poverty journey that I'm still coming out of. Bills here, bills there, and debts there. I'm still working at it. Getting it out and becoming debt-free. It's up to you. It's been up to me. No special windfall was going to fall down. I had to work. And that work is determined by how I think. What do I do? What work do I do? How much of the work do I do? What do I charge for the work I do? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, everywhere in the world there is poverty. It depends on how you think where you are. You will be one of those who are in poverty like I was in the UK, or you become one of the wealthy like you are in Nigeria. Or you can be wealthy in the UK or poor in the UK, wealthy in Nigeria or poor in Nigeria, wealthy in the US or poor in the US of A. What Riri Okoye is doing is amazing. Lara Famosa, so many people working with young people, working with women. I do the same. But we need to go to where their thinking is. That is priority. I am sick of watching us taking things to a group of people and they just waste it, and they wait for the next time you come to give them, and they waste it, and they wait for the next time you come to give them, and they use it anyhow. I mean, a person who does not know how to take care of food, who does not know how to plan. So all you women out there who are teaching them how to plan, teaching them how to sew, excuse me, well done. Well done. Now we also need to teach them how to think about how to sew, how to think about how to take care of money, how to think about the new clothes they have got, how to think when someone is paying for them to go into education. Come on, so they don't waste it. I have a lot of people fight me, oh yeah, we know their mindset needs to change, but we still need to go and help them. Great. But your mind, when you help them, if the mind is still the same, we are going to end up in the same place. And it's not your mindset that matters, it's your thought set. Because your thoughts set your mind. Your thoughts set your mind. So if you still have stinking thinking, if you keep thinking, well, I'll never make it as long as I'm in Nigeria, that is how it will be. Well, let me just wait for the next time Riri comes. That's how it will be. Or let me just wait for the next time Lara comes. That's how it will be. Let me wait for the next time the country gives us a bit of money. That's how it will be for you. How about thinking? Solution. There must be a way out. There must be a way out. There must be a way out of waiting for people to give to me. I just need a drink. Stop thinking that way. That will help you. No end, it will help you. It takes the grace of God for a parent to say, my child will not grow up in this mess and will do his or her best to get the child out of poverty. Too right. It takes the grace of God, and we've all got the grace of God. But you see, it's one thing to say it takes the grace of God. It's another thing to use the grace of God. It's another thing to abide in the grace of God. It's another thing to walk in the grace of God. It's another thing to even accept and know that there is grace with you. Instead of rushing to church every Sunday, rushing to every meeting, just so that a pastor can pray for you and that grace will come. The grace of God is available. It's how you think about that grace that determines whether you get anything from that grace. Take it from me. I've just started to recognize the magnitude, the exceeding riches of the greatness and the goodness of the grace of God. When I started thinking. So that sentence is fantastic, it's true. But what do you do with the grace of God? The grace of God is meant to be used. Faith is meant to be worked out. Faith without works is dead, is nonsense, God. Something else written, it is a vicious cycle that is hard to break. Yeah, it's hard to break only because we've developed habits. But it's not hard to break in terms of, oh, well, we can't really break it. It's going to take forever. It will take as long as you decide. It will take as long as you decide it will take. Otherwise, you are saying to me, something controls you. How did I get into a national newspaper? Because I jumped at the opportunity. I did not give excuses. It was an offer, not just to me, to hundreds of women. And mine was chosen. Mine. It was an opportunity to women in a group of over 40,000 men and women. And mine was chosen. That has just clicked, actually. If you want a copy of it, it tells you why I do what I do and my life story that's taking me to where I am today. Just send me an email, coachkemi100@gmail.com, and say I would like a copy of the article in the Guardian national newspaper in Nigeria. Just yesterday, the 2nd of December, it was published in Women of Movies by Esther Ijewere. So if you want, I jumped at it. I flew. I did what she said I should do. She sent me an email. I did again what she said I should do. And it was picked. Come on, people. Come on. I didn't know it would be picked. I didn't know my future. I am not God. But I was thinking I need to be in the newspaper. I need to be on radio. I need to be on TV. I need to be in the slums. I need to be with the widows, with the women in orphanages. I need to be in secondary schools. I need to be there. I need to talk to them. I need to inspire them and say, think. Think solution. Keep thinking solution. It will come to you. You know why? Because of a simple principle I have found in the Bible. It says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. For as a man thinks, and as a woman, as a child thinks in his heart, her heart, so is he. So is she. You might not like a principle, you might not believe a principle, you might not agree with a principle, you might not like a law, you might not believe the law, you might not believe that it exists, but it does not stop you from working. Principles work whether you like it or not. Okay, so a vicious cycle can be broken, vicious or not, and it depends on how you see it. If you think it's vicious, it will be vicious. If you think it's not vicious, it won't be. And the way you think about it determines how you see it. Because your thought is the eye of your mind. And if your thinking is, this is a vicious cycle, will I ever break? This is going to take me forever. That's how long it will take you. Because as you think, so you are. As you think, so you are. Another swig of water. So it's up to you here. Let me carry on. Another comment is, those people who live in those slums do not see the heap of rubbish as a problem because their attention is all focused on getting the very basic needs they need to go by day after day. And she referred to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are two ways you can look at that sentence. Those people who live in those slums do not see the heap of rubbish. They do not see it, and she explains, as a problem because their attention is all about getting their basic needs met day after day. I didn't see my debts. I didn't see my small-mindedness, my poverty-mindedness. I did not see it. And so I got more into poverty. I got my basic needs met, but I got more into poverty. How does that work? Oh, come on. Come on, let's wake up. Let's take responsibility. Oh, come on. And that's what I teach. I teach you how to take responsibility step by step, day after day. We create a plan. We work the plan. We think a particular way, is a thinking plan. Now, the other way to look at that sentence, those people who live in those slums do not see the heap of rubbish as a problem. The other way to look at that is, those people who live in those slums do not see the heap of rubbish as a problem that stands in their way. All they are looking for is solution to get out of there, to clean the rubbish up. And the rubbish is not the rubbish around them. The rubbish is the rubbish on their minds. People, are you hearing me? The rubbish on their minds. The rubbish in their thinking. That's what we're talking about. They don't see that as a problem, as a barricade, a barrier, an obstacle to their going forward. They don't see it that way. You know what? I've got to go. That's all they know. And because they know they've got to go, they keep looking for a way to go. You know what I'm saying? While they are looking for their basic human needs, they are paying the price. They are burning the midnight oil, the candle on both ends. They are not sleeping when they should be working. They are not sleeping after they have worked. I remember Carmelita Nuttall. She says, 9 to 5 will make you a living. After 5, if you are working, it will make you a fortune. What do you want, a living or a fortune? What do you want, a living or a fortune? It's up to how you think. Somebody said, oh, we've got to do something, otherwise this will be another lecture lost in translation. That is true, but then it depends on how they translate it, doesn't it? Because I'm saying all this and some of you are probably angry, some of you are thinking, yeah, and then you step back doing the same thing. And the number of people that have sent me a message, oh, you don't know how you inspire me. What have you done with the inspiration? Why don't we know about you? Are you still going for good? Oh, okay, let's go for better. All right then. Let's see if we can do best. What does that mean? We do best, that's all. That's all we do. We do excellent, that's all we do. The people that are doing excellently, the Bill Gates, the Richard Branson, the Warren Buffett, come on, the Nick, what's his name? Vaynerchuk, the Eric Thomas's, come on, Lisa Nichols, come on. They also are stepping out. They are not doing different from you. They started small, but they started. They were nothing before. They had problems with family, with everything. They had problems with money. They have weaknesses. They still have them today, but they did not stop. Their thinking was, let's keep going. We have a goal. Look at what it looks like. Let's keep going. We are going to get there. I must get there. Jack Ma said they borrowed $50,000 when they started 18 years ago. I listened to something and he said 18 years ago. He thought it would last them 10 months. It lasted them 4 months. They were almost bankrupt. Did he stop? No. It's down to how you think. I was going to share with you Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but let's go. Somebody also wrote, let's peel back the layers of filth. The mind can process better. Yeah, it's not the layers of filth around you, it's the layers of filth on the ground of their mind. You can clean them out, they go right back. Because of the way they think. They make money, but because they've never known how to use money, they lose it. In a matter of weeks, we keep hearing that you win the lottery, you lose it, you go right back to where you are. Because the way you think messes up the greatness that you've been given. Don't you guys see it? It's not peeling the filth around you. It's peeling the filth in you. Peel it back. Then your mind will process better. Someone talked about the feeling of overwhelm. And so many people, so one day I picked up the dictionary and I said, what's this business about overwhelm people keep talking about? And I found out, do you know what it is? The meaning of overwhelm in the dictionary. It means something has beaten you. Something has won over you. It's beating you. B-E-A-T-E-N. You've been beaten by whatever it is. I stood up straight in my back. I said, what wants to beat me? I'm human. I'm the highest being made. I am human. You can't beat me. You can't beat me. No situation. I allowed it to beat me when I entered depression. When I will be under the duvet, I'm losing my hair. What's going to happen next? I allowed my situation to beat me. Hello? Situation didn't change. I changed. Situation will never change. You will change. Then situation will change. You have authority and responsibility for your situation. When you change, when you transform, come on, now we are talking. At the beginning, I talked about transform thoughts. Until your thoughts are transformed, you cannot transform. Not to mention change. So don't be beaten by anything. Stop banding that way. I'm overwhelmed. You are saying you've been beaten. And once you've been beaten, you've lost. You are not meant to lose. You are not created to lose. You are created to think to win. Think to win, think to win, think to win. I tell you, problems exist because solutions exist. Get up and stop banding the phrases. I'm a solution bringer. I'm a solution giver. I bring solution. Let's see it. And somebody also said the problem is complex. I opened the dictionary. What does complex mean? It means consisting of many different and connected parts. I don't think so. Yeah, it's plenty. Because these are just reasons and excuses. So the problem is complex. And so, once you begin to think that way, you clog up your ability to bring solution. You are not called to deal with all the many different connecting parts. Just the one part that you are meant to do. Go and do it with all your might. Collaborate and do it with even more might. If you are called to do what really does, do it and do it with all your might. Call in all the big gods to help you. You're calling everybody that will cover every layer, every level. Come on! It's not complex. Do your part, I do my part. Everybody does all the connecting parts and it's no longer complex. But everything is complex. I believe that's where we got the word complexion from, because there are many things that make up our complexion. Somebody said this is a rich country. And she goes on to say, and in this rich country, and Nigeria is a rich country, we have the highest immigration numbers in the world. And she says, who is to blame? She says there's no medical care, no health insurance, no pensions, no good roads, no water. We're still drinking water out of boreholes, no jobs. There's much poverty. 3/4 of Nigerians are in poverty. No help from the government. No classrooms for kids who are willing to learn. Let me tell you about classrooms. I told you I went to school. My mom was teaching us when we were younger how to do here. And she taught us on the grass. She said, just do it this way. And she taught us to use our fingers on the grass. Go and write 1, 2, 3 on the sand under the sun. Call your teacher and say, I will sit outside the class. Don't wait for the class to be built. Don't wait. Go learn, study, and build a class. Go and learn it. Go and study, grow, so that you build the class. I remember one of these guys I was just listening to him on Facebook. On YouTube. and he had just interviewed Lisa Nichols. What's his name again? Is this Black American guy? And he said that his father, Steve Harvey, the Steve Harvey show. Steve Harvey. He said his father told him the best thing you can do for poor people is not to be like them. Do not be poor like them. You cannot take me out of a place where you are. You can't take me out because we are both in it. You can't take me to wealth if you are not in wealth. You see, but wealth is not what you do. Wealth is how you think. Because how you think becomes who you are, and who you are is what you do. So you can take me to where you are in your thinking, and I will get to where you are in your doing. Or we'll all get there together. But you cannot stay thinking this thinking and say that it's going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's a rich country, and the one act necessary to transform the mind of a nation is each one of us learn the art of how to think. Go and learn the art of how to think. Quit waiting for the nation and the government and that person and these people. You take responsibility. It takes one man. It takes one man stepping out and all the others will follow. One man. You take responsibility for yourself. Quit waiting and looking. Let's stop talking. We are all saying the same thing, and we've been saying it for years. Water. And things are still the same. Some things are a bit better, but it can be a lot better. And then somebody else said the rot all over the country is on such a big scale. It is unbelievable. It's believable. I know what you mean by it's unbelievable. But we shouldn't be like this. It's only because we have decided we are not going to think. We want to maintain the way we've been thinking all our lives because it's too hard to change. Oh yeah, it was hard for me too. But I knew that was what was going to save me. Eventually, I had to take responsibility. I said, Kemi, you're on your own here. You've prayed, God has answered. That He's doing His part, do yours. He's doing His part, do yours. So let me share some solutions I have. There's some other things I've noticed. People are a bit slow. Their obeisance is aching to slavery, bowing and oh yes, thank you, and two hands and they would rather attend a free event than pay for it. It's the way they think. Hiding things, lying, tight-fisted, not willing to give money or put money down. Prideful. Well, who I am, and what are you coming to say to me? Do you know what I've been through? Pride. Those are some of the issues I've found. But hey, somebody wrote, we can make a difference. Seemingly little things that make a big difference. Do you know that it takes a little rudder, a little thing about the size of a steering wheel of a car to move a whole ship? A big ship, like it's very tall, those ones that carry people on cruises and luxury liners. A little rudder, and they're telling you, it's your thinking. That's that little thing that will change everything. It will make a big difference to what you say, what you do, where you go, how you live, what you spend, money in your pocket. Do you know your thoughts can put money in your pocket and your thoughts can keep money out of your pocket? Do you know your thoughts can put money in your pocket and your thoughts can keep money out of your pocket? Do you know that your thoughts can imprison you or your thoughts can free you? Do you know your thoughts can imprison you or your thoughts can free you? Mandela is a live example. He believed something and he did not stop believing it. 25 or was it 27 years in jail? You could not take his thinking from him. He maintained what he believed. He maintained it. In jail, you are free. and you are not maintaining it. You are not sustaining it. You are giving excuses. Oh, this happened last week, and this happened last year. Oh, people are going up and down. Oh, you don't understand. If you are in my country, or if you are my tribe. Oh, stop it. Stop it. That's why we are still where we are. Stop it. And please don't give me any reason. Oh, but there's still racism in South Africa. Irrelevant. Listen, the people that want to remain foolish will remain foolish. You are not responsible for them. The people that want to remain stupid will remain stupid. You are not responsible for them. If you want to remain foolish or stupid or intelligent, brilliant, making amazing choices, I cannot help you. It's a choice you have to make. Les Brown says, a man convinced against his opinion is of the same opinion still. You can be nodding your head, I agree. But you don't accept it because you have an opinion and you have not left that opinion. Because when you leave your opinion and you accept the other person's opinion, if it's the right thing, way to go. Like my opinion, right? It's not even an opinion, it's a fact, it's a law, it's a principle. It will work for you. It will. Let me bring some other solutions. Your freedom starts in your mess. Where you are is where your freedom begins. It's not when you leave your mess that your freedom. No. Where you are in the slums, where you are without having money, where you are when you've been evicted with your 5-week-old grandson like I was, where you are is where in your mess. That is where your freedom begins. So don't wait to come out. That's thinking. Don't wait, oh, when I get to this place, then everything. No! Start where you are. Start where you are. Start to think right where you are. Stop this thinking. Because when you get out of your mess, if you are waiting to get out of your mess before you start thinking right, who told you you're going to start thinking right? I used to think that. I thought, when I become like this, then I will start cleaning, I will start washing, I will start looking good. Or when I have enough money, then I'll start exercising. Let me tell you, who you are here in your mess is who you will be when you get out of the mess. Because you need to learn to be that person you want to be when you get to your freedom. But you need to learn to be that person where you are. It starts here. You cannot be an intelligent person in university if you choose not to be intelligent in primary school. You can't say, well, I'll just wing it in primary school, wing it in secondary school. When I get to university, then I'll start being intelligent. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. We are not made like that. We are made to start and to grow and to keep growing and to keep adding. Like the butterfly, we are meant egg, caterpillar, pupa, butterfly. It's not, oh, when I become a butterfly, then I'll stop being an egg. No. If you keep thinking that you're stationary like as an egg, then you're stationary as a caterpillar waiting to be able to fly, you will not fly. But you'll be dead. You'll be dead. Because you should not last longer than 5 days as an egg. So you actually be dead. So if you're waiting to be a butterfly, you want to have butterfly thoughts after you become a butterfly, you'll still be thinking like an egg. You'll become a butterfly with egg thoughts, but you probably will never reach butterfly because you just stayed that way. Remember I said Nick Vujicic, no arms, no legs. He has a flap for a leg. He's carried and he's married with a child. Oh, come on. Oh, people, what's the reason? What are you doing? What are we doing? I ask myself when I should have gone somewhere and done something. Kemi, what are you doing? Wake up. We need to wake up. We are too powerful to be like this. Eric Thomas, all these people, you need to find them on YouTube. Eric Thomas, he says pain is your friend. He said he never saw his biological father. His father left, and his mother married someone else, and he was rude to his mom one day, and his his stepdad said, don't talk to my wife like that. He said, who do you think you are? You are not my dad. And he walked out. The man said, if you walk out of here, you will never come back. And he said, fine, it was gone. And he started living on the streets and eating from garbage cans at the age of 15. Eric Thomas, E-R-I-C, Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. Check him out. He is not eating out of garbage cans anymore. He's a millionaire, almost a billionaire, helping schools, people, please. And also, Lisa Nichols, had her baby out of wedlock. The father walked out. She didn't have money. She even had the baby on some kind of dole, where it was this society that was the country that was helping at the government. You know how they give you money. And then she didn't have enough money. And she didn't have diapers, nappies. So she went to her account to get $20 out to buy nappies for her 9-month-old son. And her 9-month-old son did not have nappies because when she got to her account, she had $11.42. US of A, Lisa Nichols, N-I-S-A, and her surname Nichols, N-I-C-H-O-L-S. We went there and listened to the spellings again. So don't tell me it's the country where you are. It's not the government, it's not the country, it's you. She could not, so she wrapped a towel around her child's bottom, a towel, and said to him, I will never be poor like this again. I will. And she said she attended one seminar 42 times. 42 times. How many times have you attended a seminar? How many times have you read a book? How many books have you read? A book will transform your thinking. The right books. How long do you sit in front of the TV or YouTube watching them dance shoki and moving their butts and all that? How long do you spend doing that? Going to parties, wearing lace, wearing all kinds of things, wearing the latest shoe. What's latest? When your brain is not the latest brain. Come on. Oh. Excuses are for losers. That's what Eric Thomas said. Create something out of nothing, Lisa Nichols said. Create something out of nothing so you too will be an enigma, a phenomenon, inspiring others. Your story is supposed to help somebody. The seals, you need to get a book called The Way of the Seal by Mark Divine. The seals, I remember there was a page, he says, total commitment and burn your boats. Total commitment is the death of everything else. And burn your boats. Let me read what he meant by burn your boats. That look, this is where you are going now, and you're not going any other place. Yeah? That's what it is to burn your boat. You are not, this is it. This is the beginning and this is the end, and you are not changing it. He says, true commitment, the type your teammates can rely on as if their lives depended on it, requires you to burn your boat upon the shore of action. You must then press forward because you have removed the way out, igniting the fire of challenge. You have removed the way out. There is no way out. We are going forward and we are going to make it, or we are going to die there. Burn your boat. We are going to die here, or we are going to make it back. Because there is no boat. But some of us are so busy thinking only of ourselves. We're not thinking of the nation. We're not thinking of our children, of our mates. Iron sharpens iron. And iron cuts wood into pieces. And the wood will blunt the iron. Who are you spending time with? Are you spending time with other irons? Come on. Come on. Come on. He also says, Mark Divine says, apply total commitment. He says in 2004, security of elected leaders in Iraq was a major problem. And in the lexicon of nation building, it was a state department job. State waved off on it, though, because they just couldn't operate in the chaos and extremely high threat level of the combat zone. Instead, they handed the mission off to SEAL Team 1 under Commander W. The commander and his team needed to break things quickly for this effort to succeed. It was one thing to marshal a VIP out of a danger zone, but was another altogether to protect 5 elected officials of a foreign government 24/7 in the most dangerous place on earth. So how do you turn a static security detail designed to protect one person one time at one location into an aggressive, persistent mission dealing with multiple people and daily activities and threats? Well, SEAL Team 1 figured it out and had the mission up and running in 60 days. The concepts they employed to rapidly shift fire and learn new skills form the basis of this chapter. And one of them is burn your boat. Another is find a way or make a way. Find a way or make one. Stop giving excuses. Find a way or make a way. Another is fail forward fast. Don't do it slowly. Fail forward fast. Another is systematize trial and error. Stop sitting around. Come on. Lisa Nichols, and where I say, you are your own problem. And I believe Lisa Nichols said that. You are your own problem. I realized I was my own problem. It wasn't the nation, it wasn't my husband, it wasn't anybody, it wasn't the children. I have been my problem. I have been sabotaging myself. It wasn't how somebody spoke to me or the fact that I'm black and I'm female and I'm 5'5" and I don't have this name and I don't have money. It was me in my head. So I'm done. The one act required, necessary to transform the mind of a nation is that everybody learns the art of how to think. Every individual. Leave the nation alone. Leave the leadership alone. Leave them where they are. They also have their responsibility as individuals. But let's you do yours, I do mine, and we're making impact. We're making impact. We're touching, we're changing. Our environment changes to suit us. You don't change to suit your environment. Because your environment is dirty does not mean you should be dirty. Come on! I hope this has served you. I hope it has inspired you to arise and to shine. I hope it has inspired you to realize that you are made in God's image and in His likeness. And what is required of you is no small thing. I hope you've been inspired to take responsibility. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I am Coach Kemi, CEO and founder of How to Think Global Consulting Empire. Thank you.